So now it's time to go ahead and post all of these journal entries into our general ledger. So we've got our journal entries, and then we need to put them over here into the ledger accounts. And those ledger accounts are all listed down here on our worksheet. So just like we did in that previous lesson, you want to go ahead and open up a new window over under the view and click new window, and just make sure that the windows you have open are the exact same workbook. You want to take a look at this. Ledger account template C7-7. Yours will read student, mine reads teacher 1, and then over here it's the same workbook except it's just like a second window here. So you want to make sure you're not referencing a separate, different workbook. So I'm going to work with my journal entries on the left side and my ledgers on the right side. So the first one that we want to go to is cash. So we're working in the month of March, and the first entry is on the 1st. Remember, in description, we can leave that blank because we're referencing journal page 1. And it's a debit for $5,000. And so we need to go over to our balance. And because there's no previous balance, we can simply type the equal sign and click on the debit entry. So now we have $5,000 in the business because that was an investment. Next up, and then come back with the account number 101 to show that it's been posted. There's that post reference, and place the number 101 right there to show we posted that. And then move on to your next one, capital. So let's scroll through and get over to that 300 level capital. There it is right there. And 2017, March 1st, G1. This is a credit of $5,000. Update the balance in the credit column equals $5,000. And then post reference 301. Office furniture. Count 130. This is on 3rd. Increased by $1,200. Our balance is a debit balance of $1,200. Count 130. Capital. Too far. There we go. Back to capital. This entry is on the 3rd. Another credit of, let's see here, $1,200. Now we've got to update the balance. Previous balance of $5,000. It's another credit, so it's going to increase. We have more credits, plus. And so now our claim to the assets of the business is $6,200. 5,000 plus 1,200 equals 6,200. Come back, show that posting to account 301. Grooming supplies. Account 120. Debit of 300. Update the balance. Post reference. How do we pay for it? Looks like a credit to cash. So over to the cash account on the 5th. G1. This time it's a credit. We've spent cash, so we reduce our cash with a credit. Now we need to update the balance. Previous balance, we had $5,000. Now we just spent $300. We spend money by making a credit to the cash account. So on the 5th of March, we have $4,700 in our cash account. Come back, show that we posted that to account 101. Grooming equipment. Account 140. Seventh. $1,800. We paid for it on account, so we need to go to our liability account for dogs and cats. Let's see what the name of that is. Where are we here? There it is, dogs and cats. Accounts payable. It's a liability, so that's going to be a credit. Zoom out a little bit here. And show that we posted to account number 205. Accounts receivable on the 9th. Somebody owes us some money. Alvarez, there they are. And because it is an asset, that is a debit, 400. It was work that we did for somebody. It's a revenue account. Look for a 300 account, or 400, excuse me. 405. Grooming revenue. Oh boy, getting tired here. 2017. March 9th. Credit. Update that balance. Look at the whole entry. Accounts payable, dogs and cats. Made a payment on the 12th. That's a debit, 900. Now remember, we still have a credit balance here. Even though we made a debit entry, the credit balance, or the amount that we owe to this company, is $1,800, so we made a partial payment. So now we're going to owe less. Previous balance, and we have debited our account $900. So now we owe dogs and cats $900. Account 205. And we paid for it with cash. Decrease to cash, $900. Previous balance minus the payment. Account 101. Next, on the 15th, we have an expense. Increase to expense is a debit. Account 525. Paid with cash. A withdrawal. Increase to a withdrawal is a debit. We withdrew cash out of the business, so we got to decrease our cash with a credit. $1,000. Increase to cash. Looks like we earned some money, so I'm already on my cash, so that's going to be a debit here on the 20th. Previous balance plus, because debits increase our cash. And that came from work that we did in the boarding area. Boarding. Boarding revenue. There we go. Account 205, accounts payable, dogs and cats. We're going to decrease it by another $900. Previous balance minus another payment. How much do we owe dogs and cats now? We owe them nothing. We've paid the bill in full. Two debits indicate that it equals $1,800, which is the exact amount of the credit from back on that transaction on the 7th. So our account is paid in full. Head back over to cash. And the last one, here on the 26th, what did we do? Increased cash on the 26th. So we have a debit of $400. Previous balance plus that debit. So at the end of the month, we should end up in our cash account with $3,200. And the last posting is to accounts receivable. So Alvarez owes us less money now because of this payment here on the 26th. And so we are crediting their account for $400. And the balance is previous balance minus the payment. They now owe us nothing. They're paid in full. Good customer. And we'll come over and make sure we put in that post reference. And I think I left this one off previously, so make sure you have that in there. In fact, if I look back at my cache, I'm going to make sure that on the 24th I did post it. Yep, there it is right there. So don't want to forget. This just gives us that indication that we have completed the posting process. Well, in the next video, we will take a look at the trial balance.